Hey guys, thanks for coming back and watching another one of my videos. So today we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic, right? So we're going to be talking about Uprising and kind of what I would like to see in the set. So I'm sure everybody, myself included, is very excited for the set. I think it's going to be one of the coolest sets for sure. The new Marvel rarity, I'm really excited to see that. I am so excited for that. I love flashy and fancy art on cards. It's gonna feel so great to pull cold foil Marvels, so I'm really excited about that. But I kind of wanted to break down some things that I would like to see in the set. This is not entirely a speculation post, but I mean it kind of is. But it's more like, I guess, a wish list maybe for the set. So one thing that's been on a lot of people's minds as we get closer to spoiler season and the release date is the draft balance, I guess, of the game. So they've said that this new set is going to be really good for draft and sealed, right? And so far they've only shown 3 heroes, so 2 of which have the same talent, which is Draconic, and the third one is completely different. It's an elemental wizard, right? So not only that, but it's an elemental wizard we've seen before. So is there a 4th hero to kind of balance things out? If there is, would it have to be an ice hero to kind of keep those traits balanced, those talents balanced? I don't know. I think there is probably only going to be the 3. I know it kind of hurts to hear that. It sucks to hear that, right? But I think there will be the 3. I don't know, though. It might be 4. I'm very undecided. I want there to be 4, but I don't want to get my hopes up too high and then have them, you know, crashed. But I think the set will do fine with 3 heroes. I'm sure they'll find some way to balance it. But if there is a 4th hero, I think there are probably 2 different options for what it might be. So I think probably the more probable version would be another ice elemental hero. And I think with all the secrecy and kind of keeping it hidden, if it does turn out that there is a 4th ice hero, or even a 4th hero at all, I think it'll probably be a new class. I think they want to save that for spoiler season, and here's some more supporting details on why I think this is a possibility, right? They've shown the Blitz decks, right? But they've only shown 2 of the 3, possibly 4 heroes. The Phi versus Dromai. So maybe if we have those 2 decks are packaged together, like in the same shelf unit or whatever display, and then the 2 ice heroes, so Icelander and whatever this other hero are going to be. So here's a list of all the classes from the lore book that were listed on the the page in there. I think if we get a new class, it'll definitely be one of the ones from this list. I think there are a few that are much more likely than others to be included in this set. If I had to take a stab at it, pun fully intended, I think it would probably be Assassin. So in the lore, we actually just had Shiyana, and Shiyana just gave Icelander one of her masks to hide herself. And they actually mentioned that a lot of assassinations have been happening in Volcor right now. Granted, they've been more like melt you with my fire magic than actual physical, like, stab assassins kind of deal. But I think Ice Assassin would be really cool to see. Once again, I don't think it's likely, don't get me wrong, but it would be really cool to see that, right? I think if that is not the case, though, I think what we'll have will be maybe like a filler character that's only viable or only usable in draft, similar to the cracked baubles. But if any of you guys played Magic the Gathering, when Commander Legends came out, if you couldn't get a commander for your colors, you could play a card called the Prismatic Piper. I'll put one up here. I'm thinking, hear me out, what if they have Shiyana? Because we know Shiyana is in Volcor right now, and she's involved in the lore. What if Shiyana is the 4th hero, and it's going to be like some way that she can kind of use a significant or a larger a decent portion of the card pool, right? That way you have kind of something to fall back on if you can't draft correctly. Because if 2 Draconic heroes are there and then 1 elemental hero, if everybody wants to play it, like, you know, it's kind of a little bit unbalanced, and it'll be a lot easier to draft the Draconic heroes than the Icelander. So what if we get Shiyana and she has access to both elemental and Draconic? The only problem is with that is balancing it. So how do you keep that balanced? Maybe they can't have a weapon. Maybe there's no hero ability, no weapon. They can just use any card. I don't know, maybe. So, two things kind of related to that. I do believe Shiyana will show up in some shape or form in this set. I don't know if we'll have Shiyana on a card, like Shiyana named on a card. I definitely think there'll be flavor text about her, and I definitely think she'll be in the art of at least one card. What I would personally like to see is either a new Shiyana that's a little bit better, because I love Shiyana, she's such a cool character, or maybe her mask will be one of the legendaries or something. You know, so some YouTuber I follow at some point, they did a giveaway, I think, maybe, but their kind of prompt was something like, what kind of equipment or what card or something like that would you really like to see in the game, introduced in the game? And I said it would be really cool to see specialization equipment. I think the one that I listed was Shiyana's mask, right? It's a specialization, so only Shiyana can use it, or only people named Shiyana can use it. But it has a really cool ability, or even just the cool art, because I love the mask. I think that's super thematic and cool. But I think the ability I listed was like, maybe like once per turn, pay 1 resource and you can look at your opponent's hand, or maybe destroy this item and you can look at your opponent's hand, because in the lore, Shiyana, you know, has access to basically all information, because people like tell her all their deepest, darkest secrets, because she's really good at infiltrating their group and their group of friends and everything. And they kind of treat her as like the best friend that they've always had. So I think that'd be really cool. I don't think we'll see that here, but I think it would be really cool to see it. Maybe I'll make a mock-up right here if it's there. Cool. If it's not, I forgot. But the next thing would be, I think we'll get a new Bauble, or I think something will replace the cracked Bauble. So classic battles, some spoilers. Basically, all the cards from it have been spoiled on the subreddit. So one of the cards is a new Bauble. It's called Titanium Bauble, and it's, you know, it's a perfect shiny sphere, as opposed to this cracked gnarly Bauble. So I think, and it's also it's pretty big step up from the cracked Bauble, right? So cracked Bauble, I'll put a picture up here. Only pitches for 2 resources, and I don't believe it blocks for anything, whereas the Titanium Bauble actually blocks for 3, and it pitches for 3. So I think maybe going forwards, maybe they're going to kind of up the power a little bit of the Baubles to kind of fill your deck, so that you don't feel as behind if you don't get the full 30 cards. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this is going to be a common that we see going forwards every now and then. But I think that either that will replace the cracked Bauble, or this cracked Bauble will actually crack open. So I've been seeing for a while that people think a dragon is going to come out of the cracked Bauble. It's going to be a dragon egg. And I think that is actually probably pretty likely, right? Especially if it cracks on the set. So I don't know. I'm very unsure about that one, but I think it would be really cool to see maybe something come out of the cracked Bauble, or maybe it'd be a gem inside the Bauble, and it's like some way that it's actually super cool and useful, and like a really cool in-universe resource, but we've just been using it as this dumb thing we throw in our deck. I think that would be really cool. I think another thing that I would want to see, I've been wanting ever since Crew came out, I want a new generic weapon. I'm tired of using Talishar, right? I think it's coming. I think it's coming. I don't know about this set, but I'm really hopeful it'll be this set, because in Everfest they printed Arcane Lantern, which is a one-handed, off-handed weapon, or whatever. So I think we might see a one-handed generic weapon in the set. What that would look like, I'm not sure. Probably like a dagger, or maybe like a garden spade. I don't know. Like, you know, where the ninjas used to use the garden spades, just like little kunai or whatever. But I think maybe it'll be like a dagger or a spade of some kind that has, like, you pay 1 resource and it has 2 attack. No breaking, but no go again or anything either. So it's very, very underwhelming. But anybody can run it. So it's not going to replace any of your class specific equipment. But like Shiyana can run it, and then also use the Arcane Lantern with their other hand. I think that would be awesome. I really hope they do it. I think there is a pretty good likelihood that it'll come out this set, just because, like, when else would they introduce it? Maybe the next supplemental set. I don't know. But I think we'll see that, possibly. I would hope to see it. Like I said, this isn't like a super prediction based. It's more of a wish list for me kind of thing. So the Fabled. I think the Fabled will be the Mount Volcor, the volcano. I do. So if we look at it, they've kind of completed their gem cycle, I think. I think the gems are done. And we have 2 of possibly a 3 cycle for the location-based fables. We had Corsham, and then we also had the Great Library of Solana. So I think Mount Volcor, I think that's what it's going to be. I mean, if it's not Volcor, maybe it's the like actual dragon, not like the illusionist dragons from Dromai. But I think what would be really cool if they do the volcano. I think DM Armada also said that he was thinking it might be the volcano. I think several people have, but I think they're probably onto something there. I think that's probably going to be what it is. DM Armada said that he wanted it, or he thought it would be something like damage based, like you have to deal so much damage for it to stay active. I think, what about if it's going to be a draconic specialization draconic talented, deals with ash tokens, and maybe has the ability to actually summon the real dragon, not the illusions, but the actual real dragon. Maybe the dragon is like slumbering in the volcano or something, and it has the ability to draw this dragon out. And instead of having a separate card represent the dragon, I think it should be a flip card. I'm a sucker for flip cards. So if any of you guys have played Magic, I'm sure most of you have. Some of my favorite cards were the MDFC lands from the latest Zendikar, the gods from Kaldheim, and also the Pathway lands. Pathway lands, oh, I love them so much. I have a really big collection of the Pathway lands, actually, all of them really, including the like alternate art ones. But I think it would be really cool to see a flippable card. And I think they're working towards that, right? Because they've shown that they have the printing capability to do it with all these double-sided cold foils that they've been doing as promos and Starvo. I think that's their next step, right? I think they're going to move into double-sided cards. I think they've got to figure out how they want to handle that in a tournament sense, whether they want to have the ability to actually pull the card and flip it over. Probably won't. They'll probably do what Magic does and have like cards that you can write it in. Maybe they'll put that in their token slot too, if they do have a flip card. But I think that would be really, really neat to see, is the volcano that flips. And then, like I said, I don't really know what other things the Fable could be unless it is just the dragon. But finally, I think the last thing that I'm kind of hoping for, or maybe think has a little bit of a likelihood of showing up, is a new printing of Kano, or possibly another Kano specialization. Like, so usually specializations only get printed in core sets if the hero is in there, because otherwise draft experience doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, if you get a Kano specialization in the draft set, what are you going to do with it if there's no Kano, right? But I think maybe it will be like the Marvel rarity or whatever, because, you know, in this new set they've said, like, if you get a big hit, you can pull it aside and that won't be your pick from the pack, so you don't have to worry about rare hunting or like getting shafted in draft by grabbing your cold foil or whatever. I think possibly you have a possibility of seeing something like a Kano or a Kano specialization in that Marvel rarity slot. I'm so excited to see the new Marvel stuff. Like, I'm so excited. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about, honestly. Also more Icelander. I think she's awesome. Definitely excited to play her in Classic. But yeah, so that's kind of my list. That's my my wish list, my hopes and dreams for the set. There's a bunch of other stuff. I don't want this video to drag on for too long. So that's kind of what my wish list is. Please let me know down below in the description. What do you guys want to see? What are you hoping to see? What do you think we'll see? You know, give me your speculations as well as what you want to see in the new set down below. Tell me if you think I'm way off the mark. If you think anything I said has a high likelihood of showing up. Yeah, feel free. Please subscribe if you want to. I'm just going to keep making more videos, probably mostly about Flesh and Blood, but I'll also do some more Magic stuff probably. I'll do some 3D modeling. I'm looking to possibly do a giveaway coming up soon, so make sure you're subscribed if you're interested in entering that. I'll probably give away one of the Classic Battles packs. We'll see. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. If you want to watch one of my other videos, I'll put like a random one up here or something. But aside from that, have a great day, guys, and I'm looking forward to Uprising.